Hi folks, this is Dr. Steve Ramo. I just wanted to welcome you to DBA 8758, Negotiation and Business Strategy. So over the next 8 weeks, we will be discussing a number of different concepts that deal with the whole topic of negotiations and how we put together strategies, in essence, to accomplish what we want to, either in our personal life or in our business settings. Certainly in my welcome email in the introduction, you'll see that there is a quick overview of the whole course. But what I want to do right now is just take a few minutes and talk about the value of academic rigor. For instance, why does it benefit you? Why does it benefit us as an organization? And why does it benefit the employer for whom you're going to be working or with whom you're going to work, or even if you start your own business? So certainly the academic rigor that we implement here at Columbia Southern University is very important to us. First of all, there are standards by which we are gauged as an organization, higher education, to ensure that what we are providing you and how we are assessing your work meets the requirements of the academic community. Certainly for an employer as well, they expect that if you are going through a program, whether it's an undergrad, master's, or a doctoral level program, that you have engaged in a certain amount of academic rigor, so they have an expectation of what you should be able to accomplish for them, or even what you should accomplish for yourself. Certainly for you as a student, we want you to feel that you have received value. There has to be value in this education. If there is not, then it's of no use. In essence, if we were assessing your work based on a criteria that might be set up for an undergrad program or even a master's program, it does not bring any value to you as an individual. The other thing I want to share real quickly is that each one of the assignments that you do for this course is going to be assessed independently. For instance, let's say that you do a poor job on writing essay number 1, but in essay number 2, you do a superior job, just excellent. Number 1 essay does not come into play whatsoever as I assess your work for essay number 2, nor will any of your previous work in any of your courses influence how your work is assessed. You are assessed specifically on the requirements of the assignment and the type of work that you personally perform. And we do not assess you against your peers. All right, so let's get into some of the mechanics. I really want to deal with specifically the criteria for evaluating your work. Again, we're in a doctoral level program. There are certain expectations that we have of you as you navigate through this program. And in each one of these essays that you'll be doing one every week. There are primarily 6 criteria that we use to evaluate your work. First of all, your introduction, the quality of discussion. There are a number of things that go into that component. Your organization, your writing mechanics, citations and references, and style and formatting. So let's just take a few minutes and talk about these so that you don't have any confusion whatsoever with regards to our expectations of a university or my expectations as your professor for this course. So with regards to the first component of your essay, an introduction, that introduction must engage your reader. Now, my expectation at a doctoral level is that everything that you write should be written in such a way that it could be published, whether it could be published by a business journal or whether it could be published as an article in a newspaper that brings information for different business organizations, whatever it might be. Keep that in the back of your mind, that you are writing in such a way that this document that you're putting together for me to review can be publishable. So you would need to engage your reader. What is the hook that you have in the introductory paragraph of your presentation that's going to draw the reader into the body of the work? There has to be a clear background for the topic so that we have an idea, again, of what's going to be included in the paper. There has to be a thesis and a summary at the beginning so that we understand where you're going to be progressing. And then there has to be, as I stated earlier, some kind of a clear roadmap, either in the thesis statement or in the body of the introduction itself. So let's talk about the quality of discussion. There are three components that we're going to be talking about. One is content, critical thinking, strategic thinking again, and then also tone. Content. Do you respond to the requirements of the assignment? Now, just because, again, that this is an assignment for you to complete as you're navigating through this course and through your DBA program, you're still writing in such a manner that you could submit it for publication. But there are requirements. So if it states that when we're talking about negotiations and business strategy, let's say that we're talking about BATNA and WATNA, and you probably read my introduction. We'll give a little information about that later on as you navigate through the course. Are you really clearly identifying what those acronyms mean and then how they are applied to a negotiation process? And are you discussing each one of those? Drawing from the required sources. In your instructions, you'll see that you need to use at least 2 academic or scholarly articles for your reference listing. Even though we are requiring you to do at least 2, that is a minimum. You should be using 5, 6, 8, 10 references to write these articles. You're writing 4 to 7 pages. Make sure that you are supporting any premise or any argument that you present. And is there a clear integration of ideas? One of the things that is necessary for a doctoral level program is that you are introducing new ideas and then supporting those ideas with writings by other individuals as well. Critical thinking, critical and strategic thinking, is it involved? Is there depth, clarity, and understanding as you are writing your essay, as you're preparing your article? Do you really understand what you're saying? Or are you just taking little quotes from other people's work and integrating it into your paper, hoping that it's going to provide information that's going to meet the requirements of the essay? No, you have to understand this, dig deep, understand the concepts that are being presented by other individuals and how it then integrates into what you're writing. And the other thing is, you don't have to agree with me, or you don't even have to agree with the information that's provided throughout this course. If you find material that is in disagreement, and you can support that. If there is enough scholarly or academic information that supports a disagreement with what is presented, please do that. And I don't have to agree with you. This isn't some program where you are devoid of thinking, critical thinking. Put your brain to work and really assess the information and understand it and be able to argue your point. Then we talk about tone. How is what you're communicating being communicated, and to whom are you writing? Again, we're writing in such a way that it could be eligible for publication, so it has to be academic and scholarly, etc. All that is necessary for you to prepare for your dissertation work, which will be coming up shortly. So this is a real research and critical thinking and application course where you're not just taking one author's work and saying, okay, well, this is all right, and putting your thoughts to it. This is really getting out and researching the topics that we're presenting or the concepts that we're presenting in this course and saying, can you then clearly articulate to us and to the audience to whom you're writing that you understand the material and you can bring about new information that is beneficial for them. Organization within your writing. Again, focus on how you are presenting the material. There really should be an introduction, a body, and a conclusion or summary, right? In a conclusion, don't introduce information. Let's say you're writing about a number of different aspects of negotiations, and one of the topics that you're supposed to introduce deals with an apology. How is an apology beneficial in a negotiation situation or a conflict situation? Don't introduce that concept in the closing paragraph of your article or your essay and believe that that will be sufficient for the work that you're supposed to be providing. There must be clarity, and your information must flow logically. Again, structure, flow of your document. And make sure, in essence, that your ideas are well grouped and there are transitions that flow smoothly from one paragraph to another. Let's talk about writing mechanics, spelling, sentence structure, punctuation, this whole aspect of technical accuracy, even a cover page. These are things that are required of you. Make sure that you are proofreading your work. If you, like me at times, have difficulty proofreading your own work because you know what you want to say and you're not necessarily seeing that in the paper, but you're just kind of thinking it's already there, have somebody else proofread your work. There's no excuse for poor sentence structure, for bad punctuation or spelling. We're talking about using the English language to articulate thought clearly and critically with regards to our thinking processes. Citations and references, give credit where credit is due. We certainly have an academic integrity policy here at the university. Don't tell me that you, just forgot to cite a direct quote that you pulled out of another person's work. Make sure that you have a direct quote or any ideas. Give somebody else credit. If it's a direct quote, put them in quotations. Put an in-text citation and ensure that you include the page number. And also, for every reference that you use and every in-text citation that you have, there should be a corresponding reference or a corresponding in-text citation. Let me talk about a couple of other things real quickly before I close. One is the length of the paper. Typically when we say that in our assignments we're talking about writing 4 to 7 pages. If you are an excellent writer, have the ability to clearly articulate thought with few words, you can do this in 4 to 5 pages. If you are still in essence a little bit more verbose, like many of us, it may take you 7 pages, but it shouldn't take you more than that to clearly respond to what is required in these assignments. A lot of times, if it's too long, a paper will, in essence, go down bunny trails or will deal with the whole issue of scope creep. And sometimes when it's too short, even 4 pages, you're failing to engage with some of the material that you're researching and not properly articulating the concept to the reader. One last thing. Let's talk